Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Manish. Shiv, good evening. Girja, madam, good evening. Deepika, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Chetan, good evening. Okay, so let us start today's session. So we are continuing the inventory masters and inventory vouchers of yesterday's topic. Let us let us dwell upon further topics in this points. Okay. So today we'll be discussing on alternate unit of measures, part number in stock item description, and how to set default accounting allocations for stock item. Then how to set the standard buying and selling rates. I think yesterday there was a question on this. And how to set MRP for stock items. Some of the critical things. Then while doing an invoice, how to do an invoice with inclusive of GST rates. Okay, so these are some of the configurations and the capabilities that we will discuss today. So before we get into this topic, any specific questions on previous session? Are there any specific queries, questions with respect to what we discussed yesterday? So if there is anything, please let me know so that we could address that and further take this topics. Okay, so looks like there are no queries currently. Okay, fine. So as every day we talk, the purpose of this training is to ensure there is an increased business efficiency and duplication of work is avoided in our working with TallyPrime. That's the objective that we want to achieve. Okay. So straight, let us get into the software. Okay, let us go point by point. Okay, and see how do we enable these things, how in what business scenarios we might need all this details. Okay. So the first is the alternate unit of measures. So let me just okay, let me just put some scenarios so that it becomes easier for us to dwell upon. Okay, so Umesh, how to raise pro forma invoice in Tally? Okay, we'll look into it. How to raise pro forma invoices. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, so I'm a FMCG product distributor. Or let me say retailer. Okay, so I'm an FMCG product retailer. Okay, so I deal with product called KitKat. Hope everyone has heard of KitKat, Nestle product. Okay, since I'm a retailer, I'm purchasing from my distributor and I'm selling in retail. Okay, so KitKat is the product. Okay, assume that it has 5% GST. Okay, now the unit of measure for this is when I'm purchasing, I purchase in carton. And when I'm selling in pieces. Okay, so where one carton contains 100 pieces. Okay, so my requirement is for this item, I need to know the report based on cartons and pieces also. So I require both because when I'm purchasing in carton, and when I'm selling in pieces. because my distributor will give only in cartons, he doesn't give in pieces. So this is the requirement. This is where alternate unit of measures will come to help. So what we will do is we will take this example, try to create in Tally and see how we could work and how could we pass a purchase entry and how could we pass a sale entry. Okay. So I'm just getting into my Tally. Okay. So let me take the same sample company which we were using yesterday. So I have an item called KitKat. So I need to create that. Okay. So when I'm creating, I'll just go to create and say stock item. Okay. KitKat. This is under FMCG products. Okay. Now this comes under Nestle. The brand is Nestle. Okay. So now it is not even showing me the unit of measures. Probably I've disabled here. Okay. So to have language, part number, description, stock item, show unit of provide units. Yeah, for stock item, yes. And you have an option called use alternate units. Enable this. Use alternate units. Once when you enable this, here you have unit of measure. Okay. So you need to define what is your base unit of measure. Say like example, I'm saying since my sales is always in pieces, my base unit of measure, I'll take it as piece. Okay, pieces. And the alternate unit measure, I'll take it as cartons. Okay, so pieces is also not there, cartons are also not there. So let me create pieces. Okay, this is the UQC and there is no decimal point. And alternate unit of measures. Alternate unit of measure is cartons. So carton is still not there. So I'll just go and create CRT or carton, whatever the symbol that you could give. Okay, so according to GST, that carton unit of measure is not available. Okay, I could select whatever the standard unit of measure is. Say example, I'll say box. Carton is nothing but box. Okay, and there is no decimal. I don't. They don't give it in half carton and all, half boxes and all. So I'm just taking it as 0 decimal. And now once when you create, once when you link as alternate units as carton, it is asking the conversion rate. So one carton contains how many pieces? Okay, so example, here I have told one carton contains 100 pieces in the example. So here I am defining one carton is equal to 100 pieces. Okay, so this is where I define alternate unit of measure. So my base unit of measure is pieces, my alternate unit of measure is carton, and I'm defining one carton is equal to how many pieces available, standard. So GST is applicable. Okay, it's on taxable at 5%. That is what we had taken, right? GST at 5%. Okay, it's a goods. What is the reporting UQC? Reporting UQC will be, this is for GST purpose. Okay, I'm just saying it's in pieces. Okay, so example in this, I'll also give the opening balance. Okay, say example, I'll say I have 2 CRT. If I specify that, it takes as carton. If I don't specify anything, it will take as base unit of measure, that is pieces. So I'm just saying 2 space CRT, that represents I have 2 cartons in my stock. So automatically it has converted into pieces because my base unit is pieces. Okay, then I could define what's the value for piece or for carton based on any this thing. Example, let me just give the value for pieces. It is 4 rupee per piece. So it is 800. So this is how I create. Okay, so if you want to look at how it has been created, you could go to alter and check the stock item. So I specified my base unit as pieces, alternate unit as carton, where one carton is equal to 100 pieces. This is how you define the alternate unit of measure. Now let's go to purchase entry. I'll click on purchase. Okay. Give the supplier reference number from whom you are purchasing. Okay, select example. I am purchasing from new. Okay, new supplier. Okay, Harish Agencies, sundry creditors. Okay, all other details I could give. Currently, I don't know what is the GST number. I'll just say 29 and keep quiet and update at the later stage. So what am I purchasing? I'm purchasing KitKat. So in quantity, again, you can specify what unit of measure you are taking, because most of the time my distributor gives in his bill, he will bill only in cartons. So example, I'll say I have purchased 4 cartons. So in the quantity, after quantity, I am adding the symbol of unit of measure. So CRT as carton, enter. So it has automatically converted to my base unit, which is pieces, 400 pieces. Okay, and what is the rate? So generally, if you look at the purchase bill, since he has built in cartons, he will have rate for carton. Okay, say example, I'll say it is 400 rupee per carton. So I'll change the unit of measure in per column also. So it has automatically calculated the amount as 1600. So 400 rupee per carton, 4 carton, it is 4 into 400, it is 1600. Right? So which purchase ledger it has to go, you could specify the purchase ledger. Okay, on this I have input CGST, input SGST, and I have completed my invoice, purchase invoice. Okay, so now if you look at the invoice, okay, here you have both base unit as well as the alternate unit on the screen, and you could print this. When you are printing, okay, you could also specify, okay, unit of measure, do you require alternate units to be printed or not? If you specify it as yes, then you could also specify whether you require in a separate column or one below the other. Okay, so first let me just say no and show it to you. Then let us look at how we can check this. Okay, so this we had the individual tax rate and everything in yesterday's scenario. So let me just remove all the individual taxes details. Item wise tax I don't need. Okay, HSN GST analysis is required. Okay, show HSN SSC details. Sorry. So show HSN SSC details. Let me enable this. Okay, now if I look at, okay, so this is how my invoice, purchase invoice looks like. So I'm purchasing from Harish Agencies, KitKat, 400 piece. It is showing the base units. Okay, and it is also showing 400 per carton. So this might be very much misleading because you don't know how much one carton contains and everything. So the best way is when you are printing, go and enable alternate unit of measures. And if you want to show it on a separate column, you enable that also. Now, if you look at the same print, you have KitKat 4 cartons 400 pieces and rate is 400 per carton. Amount is 1,600. This gives much more clear visibility of the invoice that has been generated. Okay. If you don't want in a separate column, while printing, you could go to configure and say show in separate column as no. Now, when you are printing the invoice, you could see under the base quantity, base unit of measure, it is showing in the brackets as what is the number of cartons, 4 cartons. Hope this is clear. Okay. Now, let us look at the reports. Now, if I look at the report, when I go to the stock summary, I have FMCG products separate, shift enter, it is showing the base currency as 600 pieces. Why it is showing as 600 pieces? I had an opening quantity of 200 pieces and I purchased 400 more pieces. So it is showing the closing stock as 600. So here again in F12 configuration, if you need alternate unit of measures, you could enable that. The second option you have is show alternate units, enable that, control A. Now it is showing the base quantity and the alternate quantity, 600 pieces and 6 cartons. Is this clear? Okay. Now let me do one sale entry for this. Say example, I'm making one sale entry on 2nd of April. I'm selling cash sales. So I'm just selling in cash. Okay, Kit Kat, 4 numbers. What rate? Say example, 5 rupees per piece. Okay, so sales. On this, I have output CGST, output SGST. So I made a cash sale. Okay. And in carton, it is showing as 0 carton. Okay, because you are just picked 4 from that carton and you have sold. So you are not selling any carton base. It is only piece that you have sold. That is my base currency. Similarly, when you print this, it's the same thing. Okay, you could go to configure and specify, do you require alternate quantity? Okay, if you require, you could say yes. In this case, you don't need, because in a sale, you need not show how many cartons, because in sale, it's a retail sale which is happening only in pieces. So you need not enable, you can enable only that in the purchase bill. Okay. So if you look at the sale invoice is showing 4 pieces at 5 rupee, 20 rupee, and GST is 1 rupee, 21 rupee. Hope this is clear. Okay. So now let me look at again the report. If I go to stock summary, yes, for stock summary, FMCG products. So the quantity I have now is 596 pieces. Okay, at 4 rupee. Now, if you want to look at the alternate quantity, I could specify alternate quantity. It is still showing as 6 carton. Yes, still you have that the stock is up to 501, up to 500. It will still show 6 cartons only because the carton will still remain. Until unless you clear the 100 numbers, the carton will still remain. Because one carton contains 100 numbers. Hope this is clear. Or if you want to see only alternate quantity, that is also possible. Okay, I think you need to go on F12. Okay, you say show quantity. No, show only alternate quantity. Sorry, show quantity is required. Okay, alternate units. Zero stock detailed transactions. Okay, 1 second. No, this this it doesn't show like that. So you need to have base quantity and the alternate quantity. Okay. So that is how you could see the reports. Hope this is clear. Does anyone have any question? So I'll give 30 seconds time. If anyone has any questions, you could ask so that further we could take from there. Okay, I hope there are no questions. Okay, let's move on. What is the next topic? Part number in stock item. Okay, so let us take one scenario. Where do you require part numbers? Can anyone tell me where do you require part numbers? In which scenarios you require part numbers? Yeah, automobile parts. Yes, Narendra. In automobile trading business, you require part numbers. What is part number? Part number or the common identifier across different brands. So like example, I want to buy a ball bearing for my vehicle wheel. The ball bearing is basically produced by SKF. It is also produced by, say like example, I'll just say by one more manufacturer, okay, called TVS. Okay, so the part numbers will remain the same while the name of the item might differ. So in those cases, you might require the part numbers. Part numbers are also required in assemblies and sub-assemblies. Yes, Raghu, it's required in assemblies and sub-assemblies because most of the time the items are issued based on the part numbers in production units. Okay, so let me take a scenario of automobile dealer. Okay, so I have ball bearings. Okay, say example 10 centimeters there as the item name. This is the item name. Okay, the same item. Okay, this is item name. The same item SKF has a part number called SKF 123567 something. Okay, but for the same item, okay, if I buy off from TVS, okay, it is called TVS with this code. So these are the part numbers for ball bearing 10 centimeters dia. Now, if I want to enable this, okay, so what I'll do is in Tally, when I come to Tally, when I create a stock item, I can click on FL configure and specify I require part number for stock item, enable part number for stock item. Okay, so there is a part number field which has come on the stock item creation screen. So this is the item ball bearing 10 centimeters dia. Okay, so if it is escape, I have this. Okay, I could also have one more part number by this. Okay, so this is automobile spares as my group. Okay, category comes under. Okay, so I'll just say it is not applicable. Okay, units, it is sold in pieces. There is no alternate unit of measures. GST is applicable at 12%. Example. Okay. Now, when I purchase, generally, if you look at the bills of automobile traders, most of the time they just give only the part number. They don't give the item name. That is how you will see in their bill, especially in the purchase bill which has been billed by a distributor to a retailer. Okay, so in those case, so if you know the part number, okay, so example I'm buying from SKF distributor, or whatever name ABC name he is. Okay, and in this example, I'll take he is from Tamil Nadu. 33. Okay, I don't know the exact. So what I know is on the invoice, I just see only this SKF 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now in the name, I could type the part number itself directly. So in the list, it is showing all the three. It is showing TVS part number, it is showing SKF part number, and it is also showing ball bearing 10 centimeters dia. All the three will take to only one single item. You could select anything. So typically what happens is when I receive a bill from SKF, okay, they have SKF part number. When I receive a bill from TVS, they have their part number. But internally, I am storing it as only one single item. I don't store it as multiple items. Okay. So now when I'm looking billing SKF, I'll click on SKF, but still it takes us ball bearing only. 100 numbers at 1200 rupee per piece. Okay, this is interstate purchase because the supplier is from Tamil Nadu. So I'm just creating one more ledger called interstate purchase by clicking Alt C on that field to create a new ledger under purchase. Okay, on this I have a IGST, not CGST, SGST. So since input IGST is not available, again I am creating Alt C input IGST under duties and taxes under GST of integrated tax at 0%. It will pick from your stock item master. So 14,400. Test entry. Okay. So now you look at the print. You could go and configure to print the part numbers also. If you want to print the part number, okay, on the print configuration, you just specify, do you require part number details? Show part number details. Here, enter. It will take part number also, show part number details. In preview, you could see part number as a separate column. Hope this is clear. So this is the part number you have. Okay, similarly in any business, okay, if there is a part number management, okay, you could enable the part number in this stock item and start using the part numbers. Okay, and even on the report, when you want to look at the report, okay, so here this is what you're looking at. If you want to see the part number also, okay, you could just click on F12. Here you have shown name of the stock item. What do you want to see? Name with part number or only name? Name and description, any of the combination you could choose. So like example, I want to see only part number. I don't want to see the name. You could just specify here. See, it has changed to part number. So if you want to look at report from the part number perspective, it is still possible. If you want to look at both name and the part number, you could go and change here, specify it as name and part number. It will show because it has got concatenated because the line is very big. The name is very big, so it has shrinked. It's showing both name and the part number. Hope this is clear. And while searching the stock item also, if you just go to display, inventory books, stock item, you could search based on anything. Either you could search based on ball bearing, or you could say part number wise SKF. It is showing 100 numbers. Ball bearing, it shows 100 numbers. Or if you say TVS part number, it is taking to the same item. Hope this is clear with you. Similarly, you could do a sale entry also. You could select the part number and make a sale entry, or you could select the name and do a sale entry. Any questions on this? Where do you use the part numbers? In which business scenarios it will be required? Are there any questions? Okay, so let's move on. Next is the stock item description. So when you are creating an item, if you require any specific description, okay, you could store that description in the master and recall it while doing a transaction. Okay, like example, I'll tell you. Okay, if you take a let us take one business scenario of I'm a electronics chip dealer. I have a stock item by name, what do you call? Printer driver. Okay, printer driver Z458. This is the item name. Okay. Whenever I sell this printer driver, I need to give a description of what is the serial number. Okay, always I need to give what is the description. In the description, I want to give the serial number. Okay, so at every time I don't want to type or I need to specify without, okay, let me say, okay, default when I'm selling, okay, one, I need to give the serial number. Second, I need to specify the warranty details. Product warranty is for 90 days. Default, I want to print this. So what I'll do is, when I create an item, I will just enable the description and I type the description also. Okay, so first let me create an item. Okay, so create C stock item. Okay, here if you click on F12, now I don't need the part numbers, but I need the description. Enable the description. So when I create an item, so there is a description field. So I'll use this description field. Okay, I just copy pasted that. Okay, then I'm saying this as computer and printer as the group. Okay, so printer driver, so this not applicable. Okay, this is in numbers. Yes, and it is taxed at 28%. Okay, so in my stock, I have 5 numbers. Okay, which will cost 1,350 rupees. That's the costing. Okay, now example, I'm making a sale entry. I'll go to voucher, click on sales. I'm making a sale entry. Okay, to Darshil Technologies of printer driver. Once when I select printer driver, okay, again on the invoice, I could go to F12 configure and specify show additional description for stock items. Enable this. When I enable this and select the item, it will automatically open a description form and it is automatically pick the description from my master. It says product warranties for 90 days. Okay, example, if there is a unique serial number, I could specify the unique serial number here and invoice this item. Output CGST, output SGST, test. Okay, now if I print, when I'm printing this, again I could go to configure and say show description field for stock item. It is specified as no, make it as yes by just clicking on enter. It becomes yes. Control A for save. Now click on preview. Look here. When you're printing this invoice, selected the printer driver Z458, product warranty is for 90 days, and there is a serial number for the product. Okay, so this will help where on the product you want to describe. Okay, so to give the clarity, you want to describe lot more things which cannot be the name of the product. Then this description will be very, very helpful. Right? Any questions on this stock item description? Okay. So let's move on. Set default accounting allocations for stock item. What is this? Can anyone tell me what is this? Set default accounting allocations for stock item. Okay, so I'll try to explain. Okay, since we have enough of data on this example. So now let us look at which are all the stock items that we have in our stock. When I go to stock item, I have AC, I have automobile spare parts, I have computers and printers, I have FMCG products, fridge, service items, TV, washing machine. So like that, I'm now dealing in different items. Okay, but if you go and look at your profit and loss under sales, it is just showing you the local sales and the service income, right? And if you go at under purchase, it is just showing you interstate purchase and local purchase. But if you require how much of AC purchase you have done, how much of AC sales you have done, how much of computer purchase you have done, how much of computer sales you have done. The group wise breakup similar to that if you need, then you need to have those many ledgers. Once when you have those many ledgers, every time you select an item, you should also select the right ledger. Okay, as the number of ledgers are high, it might become quite cumbersome for you to update, right? So what we could do is, at the stock item, in the master of the stock item, say like example, when I go to the stock summary report and click on item wise, show item wise, these are my items. Say like example, fridge, when I'm billing a fridge, say example, especially in sales, when I'm billing a fridge, I don't want it to go to local sales, I want it to go to electronic goods sales or fridge sales in my accounting ledger. So if you want to do that, okay, you could just go back to the item master. Here you could just click on Control Enter. It will take you to item master alteration screen. Control Enter is for you to take you to master alteration screen. Here again on F12, you could just go and enable an option called set default accounting allocations for stock item, and in bracket it's saying it will work only on invoice mode, not on voucher mode. So I'll just enable this. Okay, once when I enable, here I get an option, new option called set modify accounting ledger for invoicing. How do I enable this? Go enable, just specified as yes. Now it is asking when you are selling to which ledger it has to take. So it is showing all your sales ledger. So like example, since this is a fridge, I want to take it to electronic goods. What is this? White goods. Example, I'll say white goods sales, typically under sales account. Okay, and this is goods. Okay, set voucher class. Set alter class details. No, I don't want to set alter class details. Let 100% go to this. If you are purchasing, should it go to any ledger? So example here I'll take white goods purchase. Under purchase account, it's a goods. Okay, 100% has to go to. Okay, now example, let me just take the second item for me to show it to you. Again, I want to enable this. It has to go to white goods sales. When I'm purchasing, it has to go to white good purchase. Okay, save this. Similarly, okay, let me just take ball bearing. When I'm purchasing, it has to go to, when I'm selling, it has to go to, there is no ledger, so I'm just creating Alt-C for create. It is automobile sales, automobile spare part sales. It has to go to sales. Okay, then the same thing, automobile spare part purchase. How did I get that? Control R is the shortcut key to recall the previous record. Purchase accounts, it's goods. Okay, so I'm just saving this. Okay, just remember we had configured for Bajaj 170 liters, Bajaj 2-door and ball bearing. Okay, so let us make one purchase entry. Okay, so let me go to purchase. Okay, and I'm saying I'm making a purchase entry. I'm purchasing from escape distributor, say example, ball bearing. See, look at here. Okay, example 10 numbers, 1200. Now, when I click on enter, it will not even ask me which purchase ledger it has to take. It will automatically allocate. See here, it has automatically gone to automobile spare parts purchase. So you need not worry to which purchase ledger you have to take. Okay, next if I take Bajaj 170 liters fridge, 3 numbers at 12,000 rupees, it has gone to white goods purchase. Because we have defined this at the master level only. Bajaj 2-door, 2 numbers goes to white good purchases. On this I have input CGST, sorry, input IGST because SKF distributor is from Tamil Nadu, 11,640. So this is the purchase I have done. Similarly, I want to do a sale entry. I'll just click on function F8 on my keyboard. F8 is the shortcut key. Okay, and I'm billing to the Shield Technologies. Same item, Bajaj 170 liter fridge, 1 number at 15,000 rupees. Now, to which sale it has to go? It has automatically gone to white goods sales account. This is what we had defined in the master. Bajaj 2-door, 250 liter fridge, 1 number, 56,000 white goods sales. Okay, I'm also selling ball bearing, 3 numbers, 1800, 5400. See here, automobile spare parts sales account has automatically taken to that. On this, I have output CGST, output SGST. Now, I close this. Mandatory variable information is not entered. Okay, because it has crossed 50,000. Okay, yes, I've saved this. Okay, now if I look at my P&L and detailed one, see, look here, I have computer and printer purchases 6,750. I have sales, automobile spare part sales. I have white goods sales separately. And here when I go to this thing, I have separate printer and computer and printer. Hope this is clear. So what you could do is when you're creating a stock item itself, you could define to which purchase and sales ledger this item should get affected. So accordingly, that purchase and that sales ledger gets affected. Hope this is clear. Any questions on this?
Sir, Narendra here.
Yeah, Narendra.
Sir, when we are doing that sales, no, you have directly taken it as IGST.
Correct.
But there was CGST and SGST also breakup was supposed to be there, I believe.
So if you want to look at all the transaction, go to daybook.
Yes, sir.
Okay, which in purchase or sales?
I think purchase.
Purchase. Purchase we did for escape distributor.
Yeah.
This is the one. Yeah. So
yeah,
here
11,000.
640 has gone
Bajaj,
to
yeah, Bajaj 170 and 2-door, no? It is calculated fully as input IGST.
Correct. Correct?
There should be a bifurcation, no, sir? Like
No.
CGST.
No, because the supplier is from Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Since the supplier is in Tamil Nadu, you have to charge IGST because this is an interstate purchase.
Yes, sir.
When there is an interstate purchase, only IGST will be charged at full rate.
Okay.
Only if it is a intra-state, that is within state, both seller and the buyer is within the state.
Yes, sir.
Then the tax will be divided into two heads.
Yeah.
One is called CGST, that is Central Goods and Service Tax. The other is called SGST, that is the State Goods and Service Tax.
Okay, sir.
If it is intra-state, that is where both buyer and seller is in the same state.
Okay, sir.
If the buyer and seller are in different states, say in this example, SKF is in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
We are in Karnataka.
Yes, sir.
So it is an interstate purchase. When there is an interstate purchase, the full tax will be charged on IGST, that is called Integrated Goods and Service Tax.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is correct.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Hope this is clear. Any other questions? Okay, so hope set default accounting allocations for stock item is clear. Okay, yesterday there was one question on buying and selling rates. Who had asked this question? I told we will deal this when we discuss on advanced inventory management. Then yesterday after the training, I thought, okay, why not? Let me explain right now. So is the person who had asked the question, is he there in training today?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, Varun.
No, sir, this is Gaurav.
Gaurav, sorry, Gaurav. Okay. So for a stock item, okay, if you want to set up this standard purchase, buying and selling rate, I don't want to enter at the time of making transaction. It has to get automatically updated. So how do you do that? Okay, so now example, okay, let us just take one business scenario. Okay, so since we are already into FMCG goods, okay, so I have an item called Colgate toothpaste 100 grams. This is the item name. Okay, when I purchase this, I purchase at 26 rupees plus taxes. When I sell it, I am selling at 35 rupees plus taxes. Okay, so this is my purchase price and this is my sales price for the item Colgate toothpaste 100 grams. So how do we configure this? So let us just get into Tally, create stock item Colgate toothpaste. So you could update the accounting ledgers, okay, accordingly. Then click on F12. You get an option called provide standard buying and selling rate. Here you could enable standard buying and selling rate. Okay. So this comes under FMCG products. Okay. Category, I'll just say not applicable currently, or I could create one. Colgate, that's the company name. Okay, so I'm selling in numbers. I don't have any alternative information. So here you get an option called set standard rates. Yes, I want to set the standard rate, and you could also give from which date it is applicable. Okay, rate is, this is my standard cost, means purchase cost. 26 rupee per number, sale is 35 rupee per number. Okay, similarly, if there is a change in price, say example from 1st of May, it has become 28 rupee per number. Okay, and from 1st of May, the sale price has become 39. So I could go on updating the standard purchase and sales price. Okay, so I'm just defining the GST on this thing. The tax is 12%. Example, 12%. Okay, so currently I don't have any opening stock. I've created an item with standard purchase and sales price. So this is where I update, alter standard rates. So here is the table which is maintained with effective date from which date, what is the standard cost, that is purchase cost, what is the standard selling price. So once you enable this and go to a transaction, say example, I'm doing an entry on 3rd of April, purchasing from Harish Agencies. Okay, so let me just say Harish Agencies. What am I purchasing? Colgate toothpaste, 100 numbers. See, look here, it has automatically picked the rate as 26 rupees. So you need not worry. Okay, so on this you have 12% SGST, CGST, 6%, 6%. Hope this is clear. So it has automatically picked the standard rate. Okay, then let me go to sales, F8 sales, and I'm making a sale entry. Say example, I'm selling through cash, Colgate toothpaste, 1 number, it has picked 35 because my rate on 1st April was 35. Again, the rate change has happened on 1st of May. So any dates in the April, it will still take 35 rupees only. To this, you will, of course, you will have output CGST, output SGST. Okay, so now if I just change the date to 2nd of May and I make one more sale entry for Colgate toothpaste, 1 number, see, it has taken 39 rupees. It has not taken 35 because effective 1st of May, the prices have changed. So it is tracking that and it is taking your rate from the table that you are specified in master. Hope this is clear.
Sir, this is Raghu here. Majority of this data is always taken from the master, right?
Right.
Maintain your master well. These are all actually taken care of that.
Yes. Absolutely. See, the input is in only in 2 places. One in the
Either
master,
sell or purchase.
second in transaction.
Understood. Thank you.
If you ensure that these 2 places you have the data hygiene, then your output will be perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the next is basically MRP. MRP means maximum retail price. Okay. It is not material resource planning. Those who are into manufacturing might think it as material resource planning. No, it is maximum retail price. Most of the packed goods will have MRP, and according to government norms, you should have an MRP for packed goods. So MRP means what? All the costs put together, including your taxes and everything, the prices cannot go beyond the MRP. Okay. So now if you want to set an MRP, how do you do that in Tally? Okay. So simple. Let us take one more scenario. Okay. I'll say it is VICO, VICCO, VICO Vajradanti 100 grams. Okay. it is charged at 12% GST, and MRP for this is 45 rupees. Okay. So now how do I set up this in the system? Okay, so let me just take this item, create an item, stock item, Vico 100 grams. If I want to enable MRP, go to F12. You have an option for provide MRP details. Make this as yes. Okay, so I'm just giving the item name, all other details. Okay, FMCG products, category not applicable, pieces, whatever the things that you want, standard rates. Okay, set GST details, taxable at 12%, goods, click on here, more details. Here you get an option for MRP details. Click on MRP details. Allow MRP modification in voucher. Do you want to allow MRP to be modified in the voucher? You could say yes or specify it as no. Consider MRP calculations for GST slab rates also. Yes. What is the MRP? MRP according to our example is 45 rupees. Right? So example, I have 10 quantity in stock. Okay, which I had bought it at 30 rupees. Example, I'm just specifying the cost. Okay. Now, when I'm making a sale entry, again, I could go to F12 configure. Okay, and set the MRP details over here. Where do I get this? One second. Just wait. Okay, one. Okay, so currently let me just see here. Okay, I'm just doing a sale entry. Vico Vajradanti. So got the MRP 1 second. Okay, so let me just check this. Two numbers.
So just see in the more details, sir. I think it will be there.
Oh, one second. More details. Okay, I'm not sure where they have changed it. Okay, this I'll revert back to you. Okay, tomorrow I'll just revert back to you saying, okay, how we could get this MRP details on the screen. Enable all the details. Okay, fine. I'll revert back to you. So how you could get this? Okay, this is how first is you need to configure that. Okay, specifying what is the MRP rates for this product. Okay, so once when you set up that on the master, okay, so where you will have the MRP values, okay, we could actually define all those things. Okay, allow modification. Okay, I think when I enable this, see here, this is where you get. Okay, so if you are specifying allow modification of MRP during the voucher entry in the master, then only it will appear. This option, if you enable this option, then it will allow you to modify at the transaction. Otherwise, it will not even allow you to modify. See, now you have selected the item. Now it is asking, okay, showing you what is the MRP. Otherwise, it will default take. Okay. So now with the combination, what you could also do is, there is one more option that I've taken it on this separate, this thing called invoice with inclusive rate. So now what you could do is, you can use the combination of MRP and inclusive rate. On F12, if you just click on show invoice with inclusive tax rate, if you just enable this. Okay. See here, it automatically took 45 rupees as the rate, and it is taking base rate minus the GST. Okay, so I'll show you once more. Okay, you could go to voucher sales transaction. Okay, do a sales transaction, select the item which has the MRP and the tax rate, and on the sales screen, click on F12 and enable provide rate inclusive of tax for stock items. Once you enable this and select the item, so you have given the MRP over here, quantity, whatever the quantity numbers that you want to give. So it is saying inclusive of tax is 45, base rate is 40.18. So the amount is 120. On this, I have output CGST, output SGST, and total is 135. That is 45 into 3. This is reverse calculation. That is what it does. So in most of the products which has an MRP, you could set up like this, which will automatically do the backward calculation, and you could set up the GST rates. Okay. And while printing, you could also configure to print the MRP. When you look at the item details, okay. So you'll get over here. If you want to even print along with the MRP, I think you have an option. 1 second. Here you could click on, okay, same method is configured. Show more. Signature quantity, 1 second. Okay, so this I'll just check and I'll revert back to you. Okay, how you could get the MRP on the screen. Okay, so that I'll revert back to you in the next session. Okay, so with the combination of these two things, MRP and inclusive rate, okay, you could actually simplify the data entry, because in most of the packed products, the MRP is already printed on the pack. So you know what is the final rate that you could sell. You cannot sell beyond that rate. So it does a backward calculation. Hope this is clear. Any questions? So I'm through with my presentation for the day. If you have any questions, Okay, either you could put it on chat or you could unmute and speak. Okay, so if you do not have any questions, as I request every day, even today, I'm requesting each one of you, if you could share your experience, if you could give your inputs and share your experience by recording 1 or 2 minutes, max of 1 or 2 minutes from your mobile and share it on WhatsApp group. All of us will understand as to where we need to improve, what we need to improve, okay, and what was your experience. I would urge each one of you to do this so that it gives confidence for all my team members, okay, on how we are progressing and what we need to improve about. Hope each one of you will record a video and share it in the group. So who would want to share this? Venkana Shetty, fine. Are there any others who want to share? Deepika, will you share the video? Raghu, yeah. Yes, thanks Raghu. Who others will share? Okay, not an issue. Venkana, Raghu and Deepika. Manish, yeah, please Manish. It would be great if you could share. Okay. So thank you everyone. Those who are writing the assessment, by tomorrow 11 o'clock we will share the assessment paper with you, and you can share back your answer sheets along with the data latest by Monday morning 11 o'clock. Okay. So thanks everyone. If I'll be here for 2 more minutes, if anyone has any questions, you could please ask those questions, else we will disconnect. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Okay.
ಸರ್ ಶಿವ್
Yeah, ಹೇಳಿ ಶಿವ್.
ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದು
ಹಾ.
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್
ಹಾ ಹಾ
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ನಾವು ಇನ್ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ ಸರ್? ಇವಾಗ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಷರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ
ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿ. just tell me once again your
sir. Interest if it is 3% ಇದ್ರೆ if it is more than credit period cross ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ interest rate 3% ಇದ್ರೆ we can tell it in the invoice only. Means if it is crossing the 60 days we will charge 3% as interest ಅಂತ invoice ಎಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಬಹುದು ಅಂತಿದೆ.
Yeah, you could do it. So that's a declaration, right?
Declaration.
It's a declaration. Okay, so you could do that. I'll just show it to you. Okay. So hope you are able to see my tally.
Sir.
Okay, ನನ್ನ screen ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Sir, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Okay, so what you could do is, this is in the sale entry, right?
Yes.
So go to alteration of voucher types.
Yes, sir.
Go to sales. So in sales voucher type you have something called declaration.
Yes.
Enable declaration. So there is one standard declaration.
Yes.
Okay, in tally. So make that as declaration 1.
Okay.
Okay, so you add one more declaration. Whatever. I'm just saying interest will be charged on outstanding invoices exceeding 60 days. Interest at 2% per month.
So,
will be charged on outstanding invoices exceeding 60 days.
yes, sir.
Example, you could change text, the other text field. Okay, so now once you have given that declaration, okay, you could just go back to your sale invoices. Say example, I have the Shield Technology sale invoice.
Hmm.
Okay, when you're printing, okay, you could just specify declaration. Anyhow, you are printing the declaration. Yes. Okay. Preview. Just go here. Okay, on the bottom you have
Yes, sir.
declaration. We declare this. This is the first declaration. Goods described in the particulars are true on this thing. Second, interest at 2% per month will be charged on outstanding invoices exceeding 60 days.
Yes.
You could define. See, this is the simple way of doing.
Hmm.
Okay, but every customer might not have 60 days.
Yes.
Some might have 60 days, some might have 30 days, some might have 10 days. Then this standard might not work.
Yes.
But simple, you could do it if it is 60 days for all these.
Yes, sir. So one more doubt.
Huh.
ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದು.
ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಓಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಓಕೆನಾ ಆಗದೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್.
Okay.
If they won't return it back, we have to if they won't return it back, we have to invoice. We have to invoice to them.
ಹೌದು.
Can we do that? Like pro forma invoice while sending the material only, we can give a declaration in the pro forma invoice.
See, ಇವಾಗ see, ಒಂದು you can do pro forma invoice, but ಅದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ. Okay. There are 2-3 ways to do this. ಒಂದು, you can do a zero value invoice.
Yes.
ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Yes.
Zero value. ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
Yes.
Okay, so that ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Reduce ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೊಂಥರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಏಕೆಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇನ್ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು GST ಲಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು DC ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಆನ್ ರಿಟರ್ನಬಲ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ GST ಲಾ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಇದಾಕಿದ್ರೆ DC ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೇ ಮಾಡುವಂತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವೇ ಇಸ್ ಯು ಕುಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಎ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ zero value. Okay, so ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, let me just check that configurations. Here you have an option called allow zero value transaction.
Yes.
ಇದನ್ನ enable ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ಇದನ್ನ enable ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ, okay, so ನೀವು voucher entry ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ sales entry ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. Select example. Okay, so you are sending it to Globus. Okay, ಏನ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಇದೊಂದು ಫ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಒನ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ, ರೇಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. Sent goods on returnable basis. Okay. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಬಜಾಜ್ 170 ಲೀಟರ್ ಫ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ತೆಕ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾರೆ, ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಪ್ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಹೊಡೆದಾಗ ನೀವು ಯು ಕುಡ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಮೂವ್ ರೇಟ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರೇಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಝೀರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದು. ಓಕೆ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಝೀರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕುಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ದಟ್. Okay, reasonable basis anta. Select example.
Here, terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions ide. Dispatch details ide. Okay, so F12. Okay, now terms and conditions. Disable madina. Voucher details. Okay, sorry. Illalla. When you click on this, I think here you have one. details. Okay. Separate buyer and one second. I'll just check.
ಸರ್ ವೌಚರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಏನಾನ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್.
Voucher level. One second.
ಹಲೋ
One second.
ವೌಚರ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಸರ್.
Terms of delivery will baralla. Okay. Okay, so let me just take the same invoice. Okay, so here let me just check that. Okay, but still you could also print update over here. Okay, and you could get
Okay, sir.
that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So it ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, let me just check that. ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರು ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Thank you sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you sir. Good night sir.
Okay, good night. Thanks.
Thank you sir.
Manish, just check that.
ಸರ್
Just check ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು why is that?
ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಅದು.
Okay.
ಯಾ ಸರ್.
Okay then, thanks.
Thank you sir.
Thank you. Yeah.